Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Catherine. I am very excited to have with me today Natalie Ehmka. She is a transformational speaker and coach and CEO of With Heart Communications, Inc. And it's so good to see you again, Natalie.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to see you too.
Well, thank you. I'm really excited to talk to you about something that we've discussed in the past, and especially in light of all the changes we're all experiencing right now. 5 energy tips for impactful leadership in times of change. And of course, change is affecting all of us. But what kind of change, Natalie, have some of the executives and the leaders that you work with say that they have been experiencing or that you've seen them experiencing during this pandemic?
Yeah, leaders are facing change like they never expected. I've seen leaders, and some of my clients have had to completely change the trajectory of their business. Some clients have just had to work on moving their team virtual. Some had to shut down their business for a few months. So it's really affected leaders in a variety of different ways. But the common denominator is that every single person that is leading is having to adapt right now to the changing times, and they're having to get really solid so that they can lead their teams through these unprecedented times, as everyone is saying.
Yes, and you talk a lot about the importance of energy, and I would imagine that that is so much more important now than ever before that we emit the appropriate energy, right? Why is energy so critical to leading in any capacity?
Yeah. When we break down energy, and one of the ways I explain energy is in 3 spheres. There's the energy of you, meaning your thoughts, your actions, your belief system. And that ripples out to your sphere of influence. And those are the people that are affected by you directly. These are your family members, your friends, your employees, your clients, your followers on social media. They feel you and your energy. They feel your energy field, but they feel your words. They feel your energy and your excitement. They also feel if you're scared or if you're uncertain, they feel that. And then the third sphere of energy is really what's happening in the world. So you impact your sphere of influence, which then ripples out to the planet. And then there's also the energy of the world, which can impact your sphere of influence, which can come back to you too, which is something I work on a lot of leaders with, is really understanding that in any leadership role, as a leader, you are on the receiving end of a lot of things as well, energetically, people's thoughts and feelings and emotions. So it's important to know that your energy moves out and that your energy can come to you too.
Well, and I would imagine it's probably all over the board for so many of your clients right now. So that's why it's really important, no matter where we are in life, and as a leader, as an executive, as an employee, I think it's really important, as you say, that we have to maintain those certain kinds of energy for having the most impact. So I want to go through the 5 tips that you present. And the number 1 tip you have is to drink lots of water first thing in the morning. And why do you consider that so impactful and critical?
Yeah, it's important not only just for your physical body, for your brain. It actually literally wakes up your brain. But also it's really great for your energetic field, meaning it gets communication actually flowing through you. Some things that are needing to move, it opens up creativity, communication. It really literally gets you in a flow state. And so often when we wake up in the morning, we go straight for coffee or something else. But water, first thing in the morning, 32 ounces of water. Try it for just 5 days in a row. 32 ounces of water before you consume anything else, even celery juice. The water will help. It will literally change the way your brain functions in the morning. And you'll notice there's a noticeable difference in that. So I always say, first thing in the morning or within the first hour of your workday, I talk to all my leaders about this, and all of them notice a huge difference in their ability to communicate and literally move through their daily tasks in the morning.
Yeah, I've been doing the celery juice now for about a year and a half, first thing in the morning, and it really is a game changer on so
Yes.
many levels, but energy obviously very important. Number 2, you say try to see things through assessment rather than judgment. Give me an example of how that works.
Yes. This is such a big theme when you're dealing with leaders, because a lot of people are looking to you and they're looking for your opinions, but you're also your assessment on things. So it's really important for leaders to try to see things through the eyes of assessment first, rather than the eyes of judgment. Meaning, and when we say judgment, we mean saying that something is right or wrong or good or bad, instead of just different than some kind of result you may be trying to get. So when working in a leadership role, a way to present something to an employee or to somebody that you're wanting to change is through the eyes of assessment to maximize the results. You're basically saying, hey, what's happening here isn't wrong or right. It's just a little bit different than the result we're trying to get. And if we were to alter it this way or 1 to 2 degrees, that would provide a different result. That's kind of what we're looking for here. Because when you say things are right or wrong, it does have that energy of judgment, and people tend to shut down. So they tend to, kind of move back instead of move forward into creating the results with you. So assessment is more of like a higher perspective that I offer to all of my leaders, and it really helps to create change within organizations very quickly.
It tends to boost people as opposed to making them feel a little defensive, right?
Exactly.
Number 3, you say learn to separate your energy from others' energy. So important, whether you're in the workplace or your personal life. I completely agree with this.
Every human needs this right now. Yes, this is such an interesting time on the planet too, because everybody is starting to understand now, after kind of going through the pandemic, everyone's starting to understand the impact that one person can make on another person or on a group of people. And we're speaking about it in terms of germs right now, but it really is attuning people to the understanding that, hey, one person makes an impact. Your energy matters. So pay attention to that. And also at the same time, separate yours from other people's. Like what I was talking about in the beginning with the 3 spheres of energy. It's really important to know, okay, what's coming from my sphere of influence right now, whether it be, fear or anger, and is that mine? Is that theirs? And really separating. And also I offer tools for like cleansing and clearing and kind of unhooking yourself at the end of the day, because when you're in a leadership role, anytime a thought or an energy comes to you, you are on the receiving end of that as a leader. So in very practical terms, it's important to make sure you are just taking an energetic shower, and going back into your house with just your stuff and just your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions.
Through your work, do you also help people better able to deal with that when they aren't able to remove themselves from somebody? Let's say it's somebody they have to deal with on a regular basis, and they can't just, remove them from their daily life.
Yes, totally. Yes, the kind of working with the energy and those understandings really does help a lot of the leaders I work with who are very energetically sensitive. I actually heard the question the other day. Somebody said, should I not be doing this job because I'm so sensitive? And I said, I honestly do think it's a strength that you are so sensitive while you're in this job, because you can feel things. You can feel when things are off. It's just a matter of helping you get stronger in this, because we can't necessarily change the environment. We can change you. So let's help you get stronger, because when you are feeling strong, you are, as a leader, are the pilot of the plane. So when you make these little 1 to 2 degree adjustments, everyone on your plane feels it. They may not feel it in the moment, but think about the trajectory of a plane. It's going to get you into an entirely different place over some time and some distance when you just make 1 to 2 degree changes.
I love that analogy. Number 4, you say, is create containers as much as possible. How does that look?
Creating containers for any kind of change or transformation is really important, because it kind of prepares people for information and for like a big transformational experience. I see a lot of leaders kind of drop information that's really important to people, or it's really going to affect their lives or affect their reality, or especially now, affecting their day-to-day work environment, without kind of setting it up. And when I say set up a container, I basically mean, set up the fact that you're going to be having a discussion. Some important things are going to happen. Some important things are going to be shared, so that people can be energetically kind of prepared. Because again, when people are kind of caught off guard, or you offer something that's outside of a container, so to say, people feel maybe a little unsafe, or they can feel like they're on guard. But when you set a container, which basically means setting up the conversation, setting up the space for that conversation or that transformation to happen, people receive it in a much different way.
What about people who are afraid of confrontation or they don't like it and they try to avoid it? How do you walk them through that? Because if you are in a leadership position, guess what? That's your job. Your job is to have these sometimes difficult conversations.
Yes. And in absolutely. I work with this a lot too. And in those moments, it's really important for leaders to tune into how they're feeling first. I work with them on it. If they've got to have a difficult conversation, first of all, how are you feeling on it? And second of all, understanding that they're going to have a response as well. And as much heart as you can lead with, as much vulnerability as you can lead with to have that difficult discussion will help. And it's not actually weakness. It's acknowledging the humanness in each of us. And I've been seeing so much of this, Catherine. I know these times are really difficult and really challenging for so many, but that's one of the most amazing trends I'm seeing, is that leaders really are rising up to lead with vulnerability and lead with their hearts in ways that they never have before. Because we've all been caught off guard by these changes and by these circumstances, and acknowledging that stuff is coming up for everyone is really the fastest way to create connection and then have those difficult conversations.
That's so encouraging to hear. Absolutely. Number 5, you say, is address what people are thinking or maybe feeling. That can be employees, I should say, or followers even, right?
Totally. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing this everywhere right now too. And it actually goes really well with the 4th tip. Leaders are being held to a higher standard right now, a higher level of integrity. And I'm watching it, come from followers. I'm watching people who have been following say to leaders like, hey, I want to hear you speak out on that a little differently. Or, hey, I feel like there's something you're not saying. When we don't acknowledge or kind of dodge those difficult emotions, either from your clients or from your employees or from your followers, people are going to feel that kind of build up. They're going to feel the things you're not saying, especially now. People are way more sensitive than they have been literally ever. And so people are aware when things are not being said, and that can allow an energy buildup, which can cause trust barriers and can cause people to be on guard, because people are sensing, wait a second, there's something going on here. And they're not, and it's not being addressed. So I always say this to my leaders with love, your people are feeling it, whether they're feeling it or not. So address how they might be feeling and really open up the conversation to open up the energetic flow between you and your people. And again, to create better results, to create better conversations, to create communication, and really get everybody to the end result, wherever it is you're wanting to be.
It really is a domino effect. And of course, we all want to see that domino effect happen positively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great advice as always, Natalie. I want to let people know that they can find you on your website, natalieehmka.com, and you have a wealth of information there as well. So if anybody wants to follow up with you, that's the best place to find you.
Yes, it is. Thanks so much, Catherine.
Good to see you, Natalie. Thank you again, and please stay well.
You too.
I appreciate all the positive energy.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Take care.
You too.
Thanks so much for watching Conversations with Catherine. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, like, and comment while you're here. I'll see you next time.